Let's do this.
What are your favorite stoner movies?
I built it underneath my house, like underneath the rock in the sediment of my home.
It's a bunker. It's a bunker now, not a basement.
Yeah, it's a bunker. No. That's actually another video store called Video Bunker. But hello, gentlemen. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
We should talk about this again. Yeah. So on the last episode, I had mentioned I had a little bit of an accident, and it wasn't because I was playing street hockey or I thwarted a mugger. I actually was doing domestic housework, and I fluffed out a duvet, as many people do, you know, like the bed sheet. And we have a fucking fan above our bed, and it clipped one of the chains and snapped off and hit me in the fucking eye. Here it is. See how that shit fucking moves? That shit's got weight to it, dude. Yeah, it's going to be a keychain. Anyway, I digress. How is everybody doing?
What's up? What's up?
Good.
Very well.
Killer. So for 420, I don't even smoke anymore, but you know what? I used to heavily, and I kind of want to do a little video presentation of celebrating 420. So we're going to do stoner films, as you know. The first one we're going to get into is Grandma's Boy. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen this one. It's a really bad movie, but there's something enjoyable about it. There's good parties involved. Alan Covert, who he teamed up with Adam Sandler on a lot of these movies. Nick Swartzen is in it. Basically, this guy's a video tester, and he hangs out with his grandmas because he has to. He has to sleep there. And basically, if you're ever smoking weed, I don't know if anybody's partakes in this crowd here.
What is weed?
What exactly? Yeah. I'm in Georgia now, so it's totally illegal here. So, and I'm from LA, so I totally related when you were talking about locking the doors. I get it. I like chirped the fucking car like 17 times in the garage. Yeah. So if you're gonna smoke up, Grandma's Boy is pretty great. It's basically the quintessential stoner movie if you like video games. The end. Have a good night. On to the next one. I'm going to try to condense this so we can make the first shortest Danny McDermott show ever. Okay. Yeah. Usually we go about 17 hours, but so Dude, Where's My Car is exactly what you think it is. These are probably, God bless them, the dumbest of the crew of movies that I'm going to be presenting here. And they do a hell of a job. Ashton Kutcher, Sean William Scott. The last time I saw this movie was probably when it came out. But let me tell you, it was enjoyable, and there was a lot of Dude, Where's My Car? But if you want to revisit some like millennial shit, and you're smoking weed, that's the one. Hold on, that's the one.
It's funny.
I always have my camera cues down, and I'm wrong. And Kevin, God bless Kevin, can you teach me how to do this properly? Should we ET it? Should we ET it, bro? Let's ET it. Come on. Phone home.
Use the opposite hand and point the other way.
Yeah, but you see, you're better than me.
Oh, nice.
Right. There you go.
That was also like when Sean William Scott was like hot as shit. Like,
oh yeah,
he was in every other movie. You know,
God bless him. Yeah.
He's
a talent. He's a talent.
He's great, dude. I love him. He's funny as hell, man. They were considering we were considering using him for my movie that we're hopefully going to be shooting in the fall at one point. But the thing is with movies, if you got a certain budget, you got to make sure you have a star at the level that'll make the money back for the investors. And he's just not there right now.
But he's got nostalgia factor, man. That guy's dope.
He's awesome. I love the guy. I love the guy.
I mean, I think the last thing he was in was Super Troopers 2 that I'm aware of. I'm sure he's worked since, but it was kind of like a nice surprise to see him. Like, oh,
dude,
shit.
He's so freaking funny, dude. I was just watching.
It's what he does. He's a fucking hilarious dude. But hopefully he just.
I mean, was it Role Models? Was he in Role Models too?
Yeah, with Paul Rudd. Yeah, it was fucking funny, dude. Yeah. So, Dude, Where's My Car? Fold laundry while you're watching it and smoking. The end. So the next one is How High, I believe. What do we got? All right. So as you can see, Method Man, Redman. This movie, the last time I saw it was probably 2005. I think it came out 2001. This one's fun. It's kind of dated in that it's a timestamp, and there's going to be some other movies that have the timestamp as well. But it's just fun. Like these cats, they smoke. I think they smoke their friends' ashes, and like they get smart or something like that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and they go to Harvard. But like Method Man is already like kind of like a independent chemist or whatever, and he wants to kind of open his own growing lab or whatever. But it's just a fun flick. So if you're gonna smoke up, that's the one. Oh, I got my camera keys down. Yeah. That's the one.
There you go.
You know what? I almost want to say, I think we interviewed him for the Death Challenge, which I interviewed both you guys for, right?
Who?
Ty and Bob. You remember the Death Challenge?
Death Challenge? I thought you were talking about you interview Method Man. So
No, I think we did. I think we did for there was a guy who was going to jump from the stratosphere, and
oh man,
yeah,
That's not cool, man. I went on that ride that goes down and shit. Not a fan.
No.
Ty, didn't I interview you for that?
I don't think so. I would have remembered.
Oh
that.
shit!
I would
I
remember
can't
that.
believe that.
You didn't
All
interview
right.
me either, Danny.
Oh man,
As usual.
It's
I'll
all
tell
right.
you guys about it later. I'll tell you
But
guys about it later.
this movie is funny. I don't know if you guys are fans of the versus things where the artists do the versus battles and stuff. So last night for 420, Redman and Method Man did a versus, and when I tell you it was the best one because they put on a concert.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Oh, dude, and
Who else is involved? But I mean, come on.
oh, dude, plus the charisma between these two and the chemistry. That's why that movie worked, because they tried to make a part 2, by the way, and it was trash.
Yeah, and the funny thing is those cats they weren't even like asked about it. They just kind of like the studio went their direction, another direction, without saying, "Hey, do you want to be in part of it?" I mean, they fucking created it. It's like I mean, apparently Method Man was just like, "Hey, it is what it is," which is like very diplomatic and cool. But
I
like,
think they should have had it because they had 2 other rappers in it, and when I tell you, sometimes you ever see a script so shitty. You look at it and you're like, you're inspired and angry at the same time.
Yeah, because you have to. Yeah. Well, it's funny that you mentioned earlier. I was catching the show, and you mentioned like, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know because I'm not a comic, but I'm a comedic writer, so there's that. But you wouldn't know it from this segment. But anyway, when you were talking about like the established comics or working comics that have done it for a while that are looking at today's comics.
Right.
It's kind of like God, I'm losing my train of thought here. It's kind of like fucking I was watching the GGN Snoop show. My friend's the director of it, and Snoop was commenting on like today's trap music. And, it was just hilarious to like watch him like somebody of that caliber chime in as to the latest music. But I think you're absolutely onto something, because I think there was a movie called Boiler Room. You ever see that movie Boiler Room?
Yeah.
It's pretty good with Giovanni Ribisi. And in the beginning, I think he quotes B.I.G. And it's you're either slinging crack rock or you have a wicked jump shot. Nobody wants to work for it anymore. Yep. And that's what it is. Like, I want a Netflix show, as you were saying, 2 weeks after like doing open mic.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's so true.
Well, the thing is now that because there's so many platforms to get exposure, it used to be just the comedy clubs for us. And now you could just jump off your roof and have a TikTok you'll go viral. And then comedy clubs are like, oh, this guy's got 4 million followers. We'll put him on our stage.
Exactly.
It just waters down.
But 4 million followers for the wrong reason. Dare I say, I mean, who am I? I'm just a guy. It's just like something that happened to hit. Is it a flash in the pan, or is there talent there? Or is this person going to go the fucking distance? I mean, I don't know. I digress again. So how high?
Yeah, I think a lot of that talent's been doing it 2 weeks and has 3 hours.
Well, you know what?
Where's his envelope? Where's his notepad? Look, check
I did find a very talented woman on TikTok who is hilarious, and I'm trying to get her on the show. And I wouldn't do it normally, but she's incredibly hilarious. She's the only TikTok person I actually enjoy watching. And
I want to bust your balls on this, bro, because you sent them to me. She's great, by the way. I just think Danny has a crush on her. No big deal.
I do have a crush on her.
All right, there you go.
There it is.
Danny, you don't know her name?
No, but she's not. Look at. She's not.
I'm sorry to call you out, buddy.
Okay,
It's okay.
Hold on. She's not like a bikini dancing.
No. She's totally zany.
She's legitimately talented. She's legitimately funny. I'm going to get her on the show. I'm working on it. And I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to cut this piece and I'm going to send it to her to show we talked about her on the show already. But dude, she's
Are you going to leave
fun.
in that you have a crush on her?
No. I got to cut that out.
It's in the segment. It's in the segment now.
It's already there. It's already
Already
out.
next TikTok. Exactly.
Where
She's
you
totally
at?
watching, bro. I told
That's
her to
okay.
tune in
She's
tonight.
not watching. She's not watching.
No, I told her to tune in tonight. She's
She's
totally
making a
watching.
viral video right now, Danny. She's not going to
I'm
watch that.
telling.
Once she
No, but I
agrees,
mean,
She's
Once
jumping
you-
off the roof from somewhere.
as soon
Look
as
at
she agrees to be on the show, you know what she gets? She gets a name. That's what she gets.
Yeah.
Look, I think honestly, I to be honest with you, I just really think she's fucking talented. I like watching her TikToks, and I don't normally like watching a lot of TikToks, but she makes me laugh and she's freaking hilarious. So
All right.
I want to get her on the show. So I'm
That's how
hoping.
you feel. You're not wrong. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, let's move on.
Harold and Kumar.
Yes.
Check it out. The end. No, this movie's badass. Basically, they just want to go to White Castle and they smoke a lot of weed and they go like on a lot of misadventures. And it's funny because like, God, when did this movie come out? What was it, 2006 even? Yeah, they just like took on a bunch of stereotypes, which was awesome. Because it's just like all the stuff we heard growing up, stereotypes in terms of jokes. So for them to like kind of take it, put their spin on it, and throw it back was pretty sweet. And it totally holds up. And I got to say, the second one's pretty rad, but the third one, which we don't have a graphic for, Harold and Kumar, a very Harold and Kumar Christmas, is totally fucking bonkers. Just a heads up for anybody. Yeah, it's enjoyable, I think. Yeah. The third one was awesome.
What they did to Neil Patrick Harris, I thought
you just took it from me, but you're totally right. 100%. Neil Patrick Harris.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Hysterical. The Christmas, I just watched the Christmas one.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly funny.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first one, this one.
Yeah. And it was totally fun. Just like it's exactly what they marketed. Like, hey, this is what we're trying to do.
Have you ever who's had White Castle?
Oh, I have. I lived in Michigan for a year.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah. No, I lived on it for a year.
Bro, when I tell you, whenever I go back home, it is one of the if I'm ever thinking about a diet, all diets are off when I go back to Chicago. I got to get White Castles. I have to.
Nice. Yeah, I got to the point where I was putting tartar sauce on it. So it's pretty good, kind of.
I would say the trick to White Castles is you got to eat them within the first 5 to 10 minutes. Anything after that, you're taking a chance.
Oh, trippy. Yeah, fair enough. But they didn't last probably more than that.
Yeah,
I got those sliders like down fast. But I had to mix it up because I would eat it a lot. So that's why I got the tartar sauce came involved.
Dude, you eat 3 of those, you got pancreatic cancer.
Hilarious.
Well, fuck. Have a good night, guys. I'm fucked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Because, we want to keep this rolling. This is fucking one of the dopest, but timestamp films. Here we go. Half Baked.
I knew it.
Yeah. This was an interesting one. I think Chappelle and Jim Brewer were on a show called Buddies. That's how they knew each other. And I guess they were independently working on in stoner comedies. And Chappelle had happened to finish his first. And basically, Jim Brewer asked to join his. And it was before Chappelle Show. So it was written by Neil Brennan and Dave Chappelle, Half Baked was. And the movie's fucking awesome. Basically, their friend, everyone's seen this movie. I mean, I'm just saying this for any few viewers or Danny's TikTok crush that happens to be watching. Okay. Is it Harlan Williams? Yeah, Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
He kills a horse, a diabetic horse, and they got to raise like $1 million to get him out of fucking prison or some shit. And it's just a series of comic misadventures. Totally holds up. The end.
Sag it on the couch.
There you go.
Bro, it's such a, and I think it's still. I know you say it's timestamp, but it still holds up. Like you can watch it, and when he breaks down the different kind of stoners, that's still one of my favorite scenes.
Bodega. Yeah.
And it was like when you said and Clarence Clarence Williams. The villain, I can't think of his name in it.
Wasn't he? He was the heavy, right?
Samson Simpson.
He was also in Tales from the Hood.
That's right.
Yeah.
When he says, from the beach.
Boy.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. It was so fucking good. So good. And that's what's fun about this film is kind of the sketches. And they're all basic, bare bones sketches if you really break it down. Dave Chappelle on a date. He doesn't have a lot of money. It's like fucking amazing.
Oh, with the little ticker and how.
Oh yeah.
Throughout
the blind guy. Oh, she wants a double scoop of ice cream. He's like, so fucking great. Dude, check it out. So my dad and I saw this in the theater, and my dad now is 84, pushing 85. God bless him. Okay, so whenever it came out, he was kind of an old guy, and he and I, at the scene because Dave Chappelle plays a janitor, I believe, at a medicinal marijuana lab or some shit or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And when he signs out for the weed and he starts like he starts coming basically on the wall, my dad and I were in tears. Okay. And I looked over to my dad. I'm like a 20-year-old dude or whatever the fuck, maybe even younger. I looked at my dad. My dad has tears in his eyes of Dave Chappelle signing out fucking a brick of weed, dropping a load. It was a fucking great experience for me. I was like, holy shit. We bonded.
That's both touching and disturbing.
No, but that scene is so fucking hilarious, dude. I mean, and talk about cinema. He really sold that. Anyway, moving forward. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Come on now.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Classic.
Hailed as one of the best high school comedies, but it's also a touch of drama because it's a
Phoebe Cates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
That was like a coming of age film for a lot of us when we were super young, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw this. I was a little younger when this came out, not to whatever the fuck, but yeah, I saw this probably when I was about 9, and I didn't appreciate it until I was about 13, 14, so on and so forth. And I watch this every year, at least twice. And if I don't watch it, usually I watch it while I'm working, but I'll appreciate scenes and stuff. I'm like, fuck, I'm not working. But Cameron,
I love how they have Sean Penn on the cover, and he was only in 3 scenes.
He's in the movie. He's not.
His scenes are so memorable, though.
They are.
Ordering the pizza, the guy comes.
Yeah. But he visits his house. Mr. Hand visits his house. He had a story arc.
He orders the pizza in class.
Yeah.
And
Taylor Negron delivered it.
Yeah, and the teacher takes it, and the teacher takes it, and he just looks at him. He goes, "You dick."
He pulled the fuck out of that. I was like, damn, he's really I think they took his pizza and they just happened to roll B-roll and he didn't know. He was pissed. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That's just the way it
great movie.
It's fantastic. Apparently, Cameron Crowe, literally, and everybody may know the story, but he checked himself into high school after he had graduated high school, and he was a writer. And he basically, for 6 months, from what I understand, kind of just stayed in class, it's back at the class, and observed. And he wrote the book Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Cameron Crowe, the director of Say Anything and Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky and so on and so forth. The remake, of course.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Amy Heckerling directed it, I believe. And is it Amy Heckerling? Is it Penelope? No, it's Amy Heckerling. Yes, I'm dating myself.
What did that say about the school system that they didn't notice that it was a kid there that didn't really go to the school?
Well, I think it's just because he was 19 or 20, and he was able to slip in,
but not turn in any assignments.
That's a good question.
Right.
We should get him on the show and be like, how much work did you put in? Did you have a team doing the work for you?
I am just here to write a movie. I'm not here for a science project.
He just failed out. That's why he was there for 6 months. They're whatever happened to that one guy? You ever seen the movie Summer School? Seen the movie Summer School? Yeah. Remember that one guy who uses the bathroom for the whole summer and he comes back and is like, here's the fucking key. He's like, and he aces the test. Aces the fucking test. Anyway. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Great fucking movie. In terms of a stoner comedy, obviously Spicoli is the stoner roots of it, but it's on the list. Moving forward. We're almost wrapping up, gentlemen. I know you're hanging on to know what the last few are. God bless. But Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Never saw
Dazed
it.
and Confused.
I've never seen it.
Oh, check it out, man. It's worth your while. Yeah, it's a slice of life.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. You haven't seen it?
No.
That movie's
I never
sick.
saw it.
Dude, that movie's sick.
All right, don't spoil it.
Who's in it?
Matthew
All
McConaughey.
right, I hesitate to say it, but Ben Affleck.
Well, before they were who they are.
Oh wait,
No.
is this the
Go to the
movie
next poster, please.
Matthew McConaughey.
Is this the one where Matthew McConaughey says the older they get,
Yes.
The older he gets, the younger. They stay the same age.
Ian, my podcast partner, quotes that a lot. So yeah, that's how I get the reference now.
Nice. Yeah, it's basically a slice of life. Director Richard Linklater did it. It's a Texas film, and it's a slice of life of the 70s of like
incredible.
One Day and
Great
Night. And it's rad. I think it came out in 93. I remember we super smoked up before we saw it. I probably saw it 4 times in the theater. And it was awesome. And I watched it probably a year ago, and it totally holds up. Yeah, I mean, this is an era film, so like you already know what you're getting, you know. So
it's phenomenal. It's so well done.
It's very well done, as a matter of fact. So
Like,
Days of Confused, check it out.
Yeah, that isn't like a old movie that was bad. That was actually, and everybody was good in it. Ben Affleck was fantastic in it. Everybody was good in it. It was just a great movie.
Yeah, no, it's fucking rad. It is. So the end. Check it out. Dude, the next one's fucking incredible, dude. Up in Smoke is great.
Great.
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of sketches of some of their, the shit that they did. Not necessarily like to the T, but before, because they sold like 10 million albums and shit before. But yeah, Cheech and Chong. I was actually revisiting this a couple nights ago. Last time I saw it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. But I busted up laughing like hardcore. Almost consistently for the first hour, and then it gets kind of like plotty and this and that.
Those guys were one of the great original, comedy duos. Back.
Good.
There were not many guys that had such a great synergy. Together, and those guys were just so good.
Yeah. And
I remember I was on the bus as a kid, and we would play the audio of. When do you guys remember the thing where they did this bit where he's like, knock, 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 knock. Yeah. He goes, is Dave there? He goes, who? He goes, Dave. He goes, Dave's not here. Knock, 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 knock. Who's that? It's Dave. Dave? Yeah, Dave's not here. It went on it was just the stupidest thing.
And they would just laugh.
The miscommunication for freaking, because they were stoned, was so hysterical. And we'd be on the bus, and we're little kids, and we're listening to this on the bus. We're laughing all the way to school. It was amazing.
Hey, is this the one where he meets him on the side of the road?
Yep.
And he says, "Hey, this is, you want to smoke a joint?" And then he's
like, that's a toothpick. Yeah. And then he comes out with this fucking blunt of blunts.
Oh, wow.
But initially, because he tries to pick up a couple chicks at a bus stop, and then he looks in his side mirror and he sees like fucking Chong with like titties, right? Who's like trying to hustle down a ride, and but he doesn't realize he's a dude until he jumps in. He's like, God damn it! And that's really like, I mean, and then of course. What happens? Oh, yeah. I think Cheech takes a bunch of fucking pills to mellow out, and it's just like fucking most acid Chong has ever seen anybody take. Oh, it's just so funny, dude. And just to watch them just do their thing was great. So, I don't know about the next sequel of theirs, God bless, but, hit and miss, right? I mean, there's moments beyond in their movies. So, but at the end of the day, Up in Smoke's totally on the list. Let's move. Let's actually close it out. Before we close it out with Friday, let me just say I've seen this movie probably 200 times, and if I'm blessed, I'll see it 200 more. Boom. I already spoiled it. Friday, here we go. This movie is fucking the best. I understand that it was well received across the board, but I understand that they were nominating this for a Razzie Award for 1995, which I found fucking insane. But I understand that it was Cube and DJ Pooh who were just saying like there's not any hood movies that represent well, and they just started fucking writing it about just their shit. Like the kid who was kicking over the trash cans was a real thing, but they were never able to fucking catch him, so that's why they were able to like finish it in the film. So it was kind of like therapeutical. Yeah. But the movie's just badass. Bernie Mac. I mean, John Witherspoon. I actually saw him live once in Dallas. It was fucking rad. God rest his
He's
soul.
a nice
And then,
dude too.
sorry.
He's a really nice dude too.
Oh, nice. Right
Yeah.
on. Yeah, I imagine.
Really
And
nice
then,
dude.
it's just a hell of a fucking movie. And what do you got?
And here's, I always say, like, you take life lessons from some of these people, because Ice Cube, when he wrote this, they asked him, like, hey, what made you think that a rapper could write a movie? And I always think about this when it comes to trying to finish scripts and do stuff like that. He says, if you can write a song, you can write a script. Because he says there's a beginning, middle, and an end to a song.
Yeah.
Just like there's a beginning, middle, end to a script. And look at this dude's career.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's Ice Cube is one of those people that he was able to transition through a lot of different things, because you get that this dude came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NWA.
Still relevant today,
Well, think about it.
I met him in New York City when I was working for Coach Handbags, and for some reason, celebrities would come into that building. I'm not sure. I met Zach who played Shazam, and a guy from Lost. I'm not sure why they were in there. Bloomberg was even there once, but he was a genuine nice guy.
Yeah, well, like you were saying, I mean, like and this is not a diss at all, but like from NWA to Are We There Yet? I mean, that's fucking range.
Right?
Okay?
Exactly.
And
Triple X or whatever he was in the Triple X.
Oh, yeah, the sequel, State of Union.
Yeah.
Which I was very disappointed because I thought it was porn.
Hilarious.
That's good. But I will say just
Ice Loop.
He did write No Vaseline.
That's true. Yeah.
But I will say though,
greatest diss songs in history.
Ether's my favorite, but yeah, No Vaseline is a strong one.
That's fair. That's a fair one. Yeah.
I understand though, Cube had to convince the studio, which is, I mean, I get it. I don't dig it, but like, because they're like, you're a hardcore rapper, like you can't do comedy. Because that's the thing, and that's what pisses me off is people get pigeonholed, or if they get followers or fans, they're branded as this and that's that. Well, like I would love to get to that level. I mean, who wouldn't? I'm sure obviously you've had massive, successes here and there, gentlemen, but you have other interests and you want to be free to explore that. So when like the Moneybags individual or studio says you can't do this, you can't do that, I mean, that's fucking garbage. So explore away.
I don't put a lot of stock in those types of people that think that way now, because for him, if he would have taken, it's almost like the same thing with Sylvester Stallone in the story of Rocky.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he wrote the script, they wanted to give him like 50 grand for it, and it's like, here, 50 grand, take the script, and we'll take the script. And he's like, well, I want to be in it. And he could have easily just said, okay, sure.
Yeah.
$50,000. Exactly. I mean, $50,000 is probably a big deal.
No, dude, they wanted to give him a lot more.
But still, it was a payout as his point.
They wanted to give Stallone like 300,000, I think, at first. But then
that's still cheap in relative.
Yeah, his point is what we would have lost.
What happened was the more he resisted, and the more he said he wanted to be in it, the lower the price went. And so they lowered the point. They lowered 50,000, I think, was the final. And what happened? He had sold his dog. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone has sold his dog to this fucking guy for a small amount of money.
Get the dog back.
And when they gave him the 50,000 instead of the 300,000, if he hadn't been in it, he used most of that money to buy his dog back because the guy was a dick.
But they also lowered the budget because he was in it. Yeah. And you know what? I think at the end of the day, that made it more gritty, and they were able to be creative. So yeah.
But that's why I say, like with Cube, and you're absolutely right when they come in and they say, well, we don't think that you can do this. A lot of people, like even with comedy, as a comedian, I find it easier for me to read and audition for dramatic scripts. That's me personally, because if you give me a script and it's funny and it's supposed to be funny, as a comedian, I'm gonna look at it like, is it that funny, or is it this? Or I'm gonna pick at it more because I'm thinking of the comedy. But you give me a script where I just got to be angry. I got you. Sure,
dude. I did dramatic theater for the first 1987 to 92. I was doing almost all dramatic theater before I mean, I was dabbling in comedy, but I didn't, I love drama, man. I mean, God, there's nothing like drama on the stage. When you got a gift, that's when I fell in love with acting, is when I did Death of a Salesman, and 300 people, parents weekend, parents and kids crying when I'm on the floor sobbing, tears, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
it's what we love. We're fucking artists,
We are.
So,
Well, I will say, I will wrap it up with a little reefer madness. This is basically saying, don't smoke weed. Do not. Don't do it. Do it if you want. The end.